What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Kevin Prolix TV. And boy, do I got one for you. Check this out. She said something in marriage counseling that shows just how much she doesn't get it. Our sex life does not affect our children. Whew, okay. That was 4 years ago during our brief stint in marriage counseling. We were both expressing aspects of the marriage we were unhappy with. She is religious and I am not anymore. She was talking about how she was unhappy with lack of church attendance and felt it was important for our family to go to church. All right. I expressed that I feel unhappy with having sex only 4 to 5 times a year and felt it is important for our family that we have a meaningful sex life. She was flabbergasted. She said it's entirely different because our kids are affected by whether we attend church or not, but they are not affected at all by our sex life because that's private and only between us. Anyway, it was my turn to be flabbergasted because she was so blind to several obvious truths. 1, we model what marriage is to our children, like it or not. There is zero physical affection between us. We don't kiss, hug, cuddle, hold hands, or anything. The rare times I have made a point of PDA in front of our kids to try to display some concept of healthy marriage, that they are astounded. It's a big deal. Look, mom and dad are kissing. I would never want my children to have the sort of marriage that I do. Platonic partnership. Keyword there, partnership. 2, my happiness matters. My wife's response completely dismisses whether or not my own needs, desires, or personal fulfillment matters, and that being hurt and upset about this for so long wouldn't affect my personal life quality and also my ability to be a good parent and partner. I feel that I would be a much more happy, fulfilled, and alive person if I actually had a wife who cared about sex. And there you go, a wife. Not about being married. 3, she seems to take for granted the fact that I'm going to remain like this forever. What immediately occurred to me in that moment, I didn't say this, was that I may just leave one day. Surely that would affect our family. And no, the marriage counseling was not very helpful. And, whoa, yeah, I'd say. Let's see the comments. The children will be helped by you finding someone who loves you. Bingo. Another person says, I am in this final stages of divorce and have an amazing and loving girlfriend. I'm happier and so are my 2 boys. They see what a happy, healthy relationship looks like, and I'm glad for that. Whew. Someone says to that, as a kid, I knew we needed to leave my abusive mom. Dad chose to stay over finding his own way of divorcing her. I never forgave him. I just cut them out. I'm 1000% certain they only had sex to get kids, and that was the end of that. So yeah, don't stay with the kids. They'll never speak to you again. Bingo. Intimacy is crucial for a healthy relationship unless both partners consent to having less or none. Expressing love through words and cuddles is visible to children who will sense their parents' affection. This can possibly influence their behavior and shape their views on relationships for the future. Another person says, I'm sorry, but your wife sees you are only as a provider of the family and not her husband or partner. There you go, husband. She don't see you as a husband. She wants to be married, clearly. I am usually not one to jump, but you need to have a conversation with her, telling her that you did not sign up to be single or a friends with benefits. And if this is how she sees your marriage, then it's time to discuss other options up to and including separation. As you noticed, and your kids do, your marriage is this dispassionate and one of isolation. And it is affecting the relationship and the way your kids will grow up and emulate your relationship, especially your daughters. If you don't want them to grow up like this, then you need to end it. Talk to your parents or siblings if they have a good relationship with them and let them know not all is well in the marriage, so nothing is a surprise. I mean, unless this behavior is modeled by their parents, it won't come as a surprise to them, because if your kids see they will have seen it also. I know my kids did and my parents did too. Whew, what the hell? Another person says, dollars to donuts. Her holy book says very specific things about sex with your husband. It's very hard to take her seriously as a believer in the faith when they practice it very cafeteria style. Bingo. The really sad thing is, I bet your wife gave you not cheerful and engaging sex twice a week. Not enthusiastic, cheerful, and engaged. With all the reasonable and customary variations and spices. You'd be in church every Sunday and maybe on Wednesday too if asked. Someone says the Bible is quite clear that husbands and wives should have sex frequently. Another person says, my parents were not a good example of a loving relationship, and I could tell. Luckily, I had my grandparents who were so cute and obviously horny for each other. To be a counterexample. When my parents eventually divorced, I saw the last few years my mom opened up about a lot. She said that she was so disappointed in my dad because she expected a relationship like her parents. She also confessed that as a kid, she learned not to go investigate strange noises in or outside the house because it was probably my grandparents going at it. Oh, wow. All right, last one. Now, your wife separates your relationship as a husband and wife and your roles as parents. Did you explore this in counseling? Her religious upbringing or beliefs might be part of it. If her sex is sinful, she might want to compartmentalize that aspect of the relationship. You say you are religious, so you probably have a good insight into her specific beliefs and how they might affect her sexuality/sensuality. She probably considers the family to be inherently sexless and child-oriented, with the adult sacrificing some aspects of themselves, like sexuality, for the family. This is the sort of belief people have trouble expressing because they consider it obvious. Did you discuss this further? Someone says to that, from OP's past history, he said, she was raped as a child. Sex was never good, even at the start, and the bedroom was dead for the entire marriage, years before they had kids. He also admitted that his religious upbringing and beliefs caused problems as he would guilt her into sex and frame his desire as a need that was her duty and his wife to fulfill. Wow. All right, I think we'll stop it there. Okay, clearly the past matters. She has issues, and religion didn't make it any better for either of them. What the hell? Yo, I'm sorry for anyone that has had to go through that. No one should have to go through that. But obviously there's some unresolved trauma there. Obviously there's some problems there. I don't think they probably should have hooked up. If there was issues before and they saw the red flags, why did they go all the way down the line? Anyway, I think this guy's cooked. Cut your losses. Find someone new. It is what it is. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, and share. This has been another episode of Kevin Prolix TV, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.